episode of IC Stories. We are on episode 64. Maraming salamat po to everyone who's saying hi sa chat natin. I am Modern Milan, your host for today's episode. It's going to be a thrilling one dahil ang kakausapin po natin ay yung founder mismo of the project called RuBaRu. So, nakalink po lahat sa description box natin, yung kanilang social media, website, if you want to check them out. While we're having this AMA, pwede po. And as usual, at the end of the AMA, pipili po tayo ng mga top questions. So make sure to keep sending in those questions at titignan po natin sila while we're having the interview. So yeah, again, before we call in our founder, our interviewee, I just want to say hi to mga viewers natin. Hello, Hero. RuBaRu, of course. IPP of Philippines, of course, present. Clark Butler, Totong, Akuin, and Pip. Tintin, maraming salamat po for saying hi. And alright, huwag natin patagalin pa. I know you guys are as excited as I am. Let me kindly introduce to you the founder of RuBaRu, a good friend of ICP Philippines and ICP in general, definitely. Let's welcome Tushar Gupta. Hi Tushar, how are you?
Hey Mulan, how are you?
So excited to have you here. We have a long list of questions for you because this project is just personally calling out to me. So before I do that, before I berate you with my questions, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your former life like, and how did you fall into the rabbit hole of Web3?
Sure. So first of all, hello everyone whoever has joined this AMA, and thanks for having me on this AMA, Mulan. Talking about myself, the people who don't know me, I have been working in the industry, software industry, since I guess 18 plus years. And prior to starting my journey with RuBaRu, I was founder of two tech startups, exited from them successfully, and then I fall into the rabbit hole of crypto in 2017. So yeah, so I have built product for enterprises as well as consumer level applications, specifically in the medtech and banking ecosystem. So right now also, Citadel Hedge Fund is running a software which was developed by me for the clearing and settlement system. I have also worked in my last startup for creating a social media for healthcare professionals, wherein they can interact with each other and understand the complex cases, so that they can take informed decisions. So that removes the dependency of physically present at their senior's place to learn new things, or maybe learn techniques for surgeries. So yeah, that was my Web 2 experience. If I briefly talk about it, 2017 was the year when I exited my last startup, and then I started exploring the technologies that are prevailing right now, or maybe that are future for the next 10 to 15 years. And then I stumbled upon blockchain, and I started with obviously with the there was a lot of buzz around ICOs. I started with doing investment in different ICOs, understanding the projects and then doing it. But seems like that was too early, and there was a lot of scams that happened during that time. But that whatever I lost in terms of financials, but that made me think, um, the technology is it's very powerful. And being a technologist, I thought that instead of hovering around here and there, I should build something. And
Show them
that
how it's
time,
done. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that was one of the thought. But being a developer and being a builder myself, I always have a itch to do something and try out different things. And it started as a hobby project. I was working with one of the influencer marketing agency to give them consultation on the regulation side. Uh, but talking to these influencers and the creators, I understood there were a couple of pain points that they have, and none of the current Web2 social media companies were solving them, and they were not even interested because that was the big chunk of their revenues. So that's how it all started. Coming from a background where we have developed a product which was used by millions of users. One thing was very apparent for us. We'll start building something once we have enough validation that this product is required and this problem needs solving. And to be honest, I during my last two startups, the user base that I was catering to was not that big. There were a handful of medical professionals or banking clients. I wanted to do something that will touch millions of life, at least make their life better in some other ways. Uh, so yeah, so and then COVID occurred, and then India banned TikTok, and that triggered me to build something in 2020, that let's start building something and let's take one pain point from the of these creators and solve that. So there were two pain points that we realized while talking to these big influencers and the influencers that they want to become make their content creation a formal job. One was the incentive part. So incentive, as you all know, incentive in social media platforms is very late. It takes at least 6 7 months to earn first dollar. And most of the whatever the platform earns, they keep most of the money with themselves, and distribution of the incentive for the creator part is almost uh, aggregated towards the top creators. And so new creators does not have that zeal to take a long shot to build their career. So that was one thing that we wanted to solve, incentive part, wherein we understand that these creators are putting in all the efforts. uh, we can provide a technological infrastructure or a technological bridge, and these creators will start whatever they whatever the fair incentive is, they should receive a good part of that from the other problem that these creators used to face. I mean, I'm talking about the big creators now. So late incentives was a problem for new creators who want to build their career. But these big creators were also facing a lot of problems. Their profile used to get banned just because they either they said something which uh, was not in the guidelines of the platforms, or many times you don't even know why your profile is banned. So once your profile is suspended or banned, you lose everything. You don't have the control on your content, you don't have control on your audience, and everything is lost. So these were the two big problems that we started with, Milan. 2021, we started building a Web 2 platform wherein we just wanted to, provide a place where creators get most of the incentives for their work. But while talking to these the big creators and the industry leaders, they always came back to us. We already have such platforms and we are earning good amount from there. You should do something about the ownership. We don't have ownership of content, we don't have ownership of our audience. If one fine day these platform decides to suspend our profile, we lose everything overnight. Even I was talking to one of the big creators in India. He said, he and his wife was discussing, that he's building up a creator business, building up reputation on YouTube and Instagram. In a usual or conventional business, you build a business and then give that to your kids, right? You have that capability of doing such things. But this is not there in influencer platform or the creator platform. So what if I have the control of my audience? What if I have ownership of my audience? What if I have all the control of my content? So that's how
Yeah, these
then we.
are very strong questions. Yeah. Would love to pause right here.
Yeah,
Those so many things for us to digest, right? I mean, your rich experience is overflowing and showing right now because I see that you are able to build successfully because you are able to pinpoint the pain points basically of the industries that you're working in, whether that was in healthcare and then eventually here in marketing and content creation. And I would really love to echo that, right? You mentioned
yeah,
two
thank
very
you.
strong pain points. such as the incentivization process, or the actual incentivization model that we have now, and ownership, right? Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
I do agree. Profile banning is, or even shadow banning, is just so frustrating, especially when you're a creator. You have very little to no autonomy at all. I would just like to add to one of the stories that you shared, where I also have a friend who was so happy that he finally got like 50,000 followers on TikTok. It was like he was
Yeah.
working his arse off for like a year. He was like, "Oh, this is so great!" Like he had so many posts, just documenting this amazing milestone, right? 50,000. That's huge.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like his TikTok was banned. Like he wasn't, to his knowledge, he wasn't really posting anything that would violate any of their terms, and yet it happened,
Yeah.
and he could
Yeah.
do nothing about it. He tried emailing, tried so many things, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to recover his account. And imagine having, having spent so much of your time, so much of your effort, investing in all of that, only for it to just be swept away. Like it was
Yeah.
that's the most awful rug pull, right?
Yeah.
And
I can't even imagine
mm,
about what they faced
it's
during that time, because
awful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when TikTok was banned in India, most of
Mm.
the
Oh
influencers and
yeah,
creators were, yeah. So most of the creators and
Twitter as
influencers were
well,
on TikTok,
and yeah, yeah.
and
And Twitter, I
overnight
feel
it
like
was
it
banned.
was banned in Brazil, right, or somewhere. But generally, the idea is at any point these centralized social media companies or giants, they could just switch off, and
Yep.
there's nothing you could do. Yeah, and
Yep.
no
That's true.
warning, no regard for, again, your personal investment. It's just sorry, don't do anything,
Yeah.
and you just have to
Yeah.
accept it. And I feel like
Yeah.
we are so lucky to have such sophisticated technology,
Yeah.
that we're able to solve that, and just we're like, we've had enough of this. We have blockchain now; we can be fully on chain, right? And so,
Yeah.
um, I saw your project. I usually try not to research so much about the project because I want it to be a genuine conversation, right? When I ask the
Absolutely.
questions, I really want to ask the question. But when I saw what you guys are building, I couldn't help myself. It's just, it really spoke to me. And I'm so excited for you to dive into it and tell us a bit more about what it is and how it
Sure.
addresses all of the pain points that you mentioned earlier. I know you have something to
Sure.
share on screen. Are you ready to share that with us now, or do you want
I,
us to bring it
yeah.
up in a
So
bit?
yeah. So what I'll do, I'll talk about the product first, because I think
Yes,
the audience should
perfect.
know what we have been building,
Mm,
and then I'll take you to one of the slides that I want to highlight, what we
okay,
have been building, or the work that is being done behind the scenes. So
sounds
yeah,
good.
we had these pain points in front of us, and we had to solve. Being a technologist, we had to find a solution for these problems. And good part was that the timing was very good for us. I was free, I was exploring things, and then I started building the product as an hobby project. And then, because I was getting continuous feedback that you have to do something about the ownership. Incentives can be solved, but ownership cannot be solved right now. And then one of my friend directed me towards ICP. I have been following ICP since 2017, when it was first launched. The launch was announced and the airdrop was happening. So I knew about ICP, but I never explored technologically from that front. And then one fine evening, I was frustrated. What should I do? How can I solve this problem? One fine morning, I just asked a question on Twitter that I want to build something. What should I do right now? And then I received a response from Lomesh Datta, the growth head in Definity, that you can follow up these. Yeah. So that was a I would say a cherry on top of everything. So what I did, I discussed this with my colleague who was working with me. I We scrapped everything. whatever we have built in last 1 year, we scrapped everything. We thought that we'll use this technology, let's understand this technology, and let's do something. Because if we are building the same thing which is already available, it doesn't make any sense. We should build something which is going to be actually make impact for at least the users who will be using the application. So we started building MVP to just to understand that theoretically it is being written on the document that this is possible, but being a person who always sees negative part as well in any technology, to understand what drawbacks or what pitfalls this technology have, we started building a very small single canister application wherein we had this hypothesis that first of all, we have to build a mobile first application, because these social media users are on mobile. We cannot build a
Everyone's on
web application.
mobile.
Yeah.
Even the more
So
popular form now, the short form content or
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
vertical, right? Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was the first hypothesis or the first principle that we set out, that we'll build a mobile application, whether it takes no matter how much time does it takes. Fortunately, I had some finances with me because I have exited a couple of startups before, so we don't have that pressure, in front of us. So we started building the app. I think there was only one app at the time. At that time, when we started building in, I think 2023 year starting, and only district was there as in mobile application. Otherwise, all the other apps were web, and mostly Web3 development is happening on websites. So it's a raw applications being built uh, with a thought process that we will provide give a concept in front of everyone, and then when once people will start understanding what the application is, what blockchain is, what crypto is, then things will fall in place, and then maybe projects will move from websites to mobile phone. But we understood that social media is not going to work on websites. Website can be a fallback option, but not the first option. So we were successfully able to build this MVP, wherein we had this conversation among the team that uh, these social media users have very short span of attention. uh, we have we should be able to build a mobile application, connect with the ICP blockchain, store the data on the chain, and then also stream back within 4 5 6 seconds. More than that, people will lose interest and they will not come to the platform. So we built that MVP with a single canister architecture, and then we realized that it's possible. Now we can put all our force to build a scalable application wherein millions of users can onboard. And then we started working on to that. We applied the Definity grant, and we received the grant from the Definity. We have received two times a dev grant, two times, and we were very thankful to them, because not only the financial help, but it also keeps you on track in terms of project roadmap. You have milestones, you have to fulfill them, so you have certain goals in your mind. So uh, in I think March or April, we release our beta version, and again we were very blessed to have community recognizing that this is something good. These people are building something good. Let's support them. We had a lot of people beta testing our app. There were a lot of bugs that we solved because our community reported that. We in fact had a beta testing program where I am sure that there would be multiple people who have joined this AMA were part of testing the app, and I'm very thankful that
Wow,
whatever.
OG support must be
Yeah,
amazing, right? Building something and seeing a lot of interest in product market fit as well, and just hearing that essential feedback from the community very, very early on would make sure that you have a very strong foundation once you build this. And again, it's just amazing that very at this stage we're already seeing that it's resonating with the community. Mhm. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, this was very this was very appealing for us, because we thought that we'll get some feedback, we'll fix that. There are a couple of things that we want to implement ourselves, but at the end of the day, you are building a product for people, right? You're not building product for yourself. So feedbacks are important, and so we started switching things here and there. We started incorporating the feedback from the community, and what we feel is right now what we have a usable application wherein we have one of the incentive models that we wanted to build, that's post one. So once you join the app, for the signing up itself you get credit. So we have a credit point system inside the app. So you get 200 credit points as soon as you join the app, and then you
Oh,
have
interesting.
yeah,
Mm.
and then once you start posting content on the app, you'll start earning credits. Not even you need not to wait for 6 7 months to earn your credits or incentives. You just post it and you earn it, and then we have different iterative models on top of that.
So I
If
would
your
just
content
like
goes,
to comment on that, how amazing it
yeah,
is. Obviously, everyone now is a creator, everyone posts, right? But only few actually started with the keeping in mind that, oh, I eventually want this to be my source of income. Right? Usually, it's just
yeah,
posting
yeah,
and then it happens, right? But again, very
yeah, yeah,
few start with the goal to just make it their living. So
yeah,
other people don't realize just how difficult it is to start monetizing their content, right? And
absolutely,
on YouTube, I feel like if I remember correctly, you have to reach like 1,000 subscribers, and you have to reach like
yeah,
a crazy amount of watch hours
yes,
in a
yes,
month. It's like so
right,
difficult to penetrate.
right.
And so hearing that with RuBaRu, you basically just create your account, post, and you already start receiving credits. I feel like that's
Absolutely.
such a huge like um, step up from the things that you have
Yeah.
known.
Yeah. So the idea was to, at least incentivize with something so that, people don't lose interest, because uh, we have many creators and influencers here in India who started this as a side project or a side hobby. They're traveling, just making travelogues, posting it up, and someday their content went viral. And there are many people who started with a thought process that, they will make this their career, but because there was no incentives, there is a lot of pressure from the family as well, because back in the day,
Yeah.
the content creation was not a job for many many families
Now it
back
is.
in India.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of my workmates, like, she keeps telling me, oh, my son, whenever you ask him what career he wants to pursue, he says, I'm going to be a YouTuber. And it's just so mind melting to me to just process that and absorb that
yeah,
kids now recognize it as a career. I just want to
yeah,
sneak in this question. So there are so many social media platforms now, and it's going to be ultimately very hard to convince someone, especially those who are
mm,
earning profoundly on current social media. Like, how do you ask
right,
them to move or create an account there? I know, adoption has always been the Achilles heel of Web3 projects, specifically
yeah,
social
right,
media in
right.
general, but like specifically Web3 projects. I feel like it's still super niche and it's at its infancy. So, how do you guys plan to onboard users from Web2 to Web3 without them feeling so overwhelmed with all the jargons that you have to learn, all the new technology that they might be facing in terms of the user interface as well?
Yeah. Milan, that's a very good question. One of the very undermined problem statement. But it's very important to understand that, if you want mass adoption, or you want to make Web3 mainstream, there are a couple of frictions during this adoption. And thanks to reverse gas model of ICP, uh, usually there are a couple of products which are built in Web3 to solve the same problem. But again, there is a hindrance for users to adopt something. You cannot expect a social media users to pay to use this social media app, right? So that's one of the biggest win for us when we figure out that, there is concept called reverse gas model in ICP. The other thing is that
Game changer for sure. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
people
mean,
don't want to pay. They want to get paid. They don't want to pay.
absolutely. I mean, think about it. Someone is trying to, just scroll the social media pages, and they are asked to pay for that. Nobody's going to do that. I mean, at least my research say that, 99% will people will drop off when you say that, you want to, if you want to use this platform, you have to pay, right? So that was a game changer for us. This is I have also tweeted about this because reverse gas model is not marketed properly, but this is one of the biggest thing that ICP has cracked. So that's number one. And number two is, these big creators, they want the ownership, they want the control over their content and the profile and the audience. So they are very happy to, when I talk to them, they are very happy to use such a platform wherein they control their content, wherein they control their audience. And and what we plan to do in future, not right now, maybe 2 3 4 years down the line, we want to make this protocol open, so that once you have content on chain, you have the control over the content, you have the ownership of your audience. You can even create a client application, like RuBaRu is in two parts, right? One client application you have, then you have a backend infrastructure which is built on top of ICP. So think about it. Mueller has now, let's say, 10 million followers. Now Mueller wants to build his own brand,
Oof,
right?
gonna retire, man. 10 million. That's a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You want your own branded app. You don't want to use, let's say, RuBaRu front end app. So the platform or the infrastructure should be in a way wherein people or the creators can, build their customized app, and then they pay for
Wow.
using the infrastructure in the background. So these
Mhm.
these these big creators are very much interested in that. And the problem that they face is, they don't have a lot of monetization models inside the current social media apps. So they struggle a lot. They take their audience from the social media platforms to, to maybe a streaming application, so that they can, start earning revenue on their content apart from
So sorry.
advertisement revenue from this. Yeah,
So you hit a lot of great points. There are two big questions that came to mind while you were explaining, right? So the very
sure,
first one, we mentioned that creators, they don't really want to pay for the service initially, right? Especially when it's something new, they want to try out,
sure,
they don't want to try out first, and they want to get paid ultimately. But then that opens up the question of how will you be as a company sustaining um, the operations, right? So
sure,
how would
sure.
they be monetized? What are the, I guess, two questions: how would they monetize? What are the different ways to monetize apart from the credits and posting? Will there be monetization for engagement and such? And then the second one would be, what is the business model, I guess, for the company?
Sure. Yeah. So think it from a prism perspective. You have three faces of prism. So the number one user base RuBaRu has is content creators. The other is content consumer who are coming and supporting and, consuming the content. The third one is
I think
business and brands.
we have a
Yeah.
visual for this, right? So it's easier to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. But let me just pull that out.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I
Just
need
give me a second.
visuals, like, or else
Yeah,
I'm like the words are just floating.
yeah, yeah. If you can see this slide.
Yes. Okay.
So when
Perfect.
we talk about so when we talk about the economy part of the RuBaRu, we see there are three major aspects of users in the ecosystem. The number one is the content creators who are being creating the content. Number two are content consumers who are also consuming the content. And one thing I didn't mention, that we will also be incentivizing the content consumers because they are spending a lot of time on platform, making it more engaging for the content creators, supporting the content creators in their journey. And probably when we bring brands on board, then these brands will also pay to these content creators as well as consumers if they interact with their brand sponsored content. So brands and businesses or the projects would be the people who will pay for the platform. It's very similar to what we already have in Web2 ecosystem, wherein the platform is free for users, and then brands target their potential customers through different mediums. One of the medium is influencer marketing. The other medium is advertisements. So these people will target their target audience, provided, because we are talking about blockchain, the ownership and the control lies with these content consumers or creators. if they wish to interact with the sponsored content, they will also earn incentive out of it. For example, let's say a pharma company is running a survey whether how many people suffer from viral per year, and you as a user get that survey option. For example, 5 members in my family suffers from viral every year. So you choose to give your data, right? You choose to provide that information to the brands. So these brands will get the access to the content by paying up appropriate incentive to the customers. And then you have very unstructured influencer marketing infrastructure, wherein mostly these things are dictated by, or inflated by the influencer marketing agencies. And both brands and influencers are not getting the right amount of incentives they should get. Brands does not get proper ROIs for what they spend on influencer marketing, and these creators does not get a good part of what brands pays to these agencies. So think it from that perspective, that you have removed a middleman from the picture, and brands, content creators, and consumer are interacting using smart contracts, which is transparent, which is trustless, and whatever value is flowing are flowing among these people. So that's how the revenue model will come into picture. There are multiple things. For example, uh, we also have revenue models for content creators where brands are not in picture. For example, I'm an educator. So let's say I want to educate someone about how you can write an application on using Motoko. So I can create my paid channel inside the application itself, get it with NFT. Whoever buys the NFT or whoever buys the tokens get the access to that content. So that's how creators start earning incentives from their content. So yeah, there are multiple ways of incentivizing the users, and also multiple ways for generating different revenue streams for the users as well as brands.
Very
Let me just
cool. Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just quickly give you alpha of what we have been
Ooh, I
what
heard
our
alpha.
vision.
My ears perked up.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
listening. I'm taking down
our
notes.
so the community that we already have on our Discord and have been testing the app, they already know about that, but wider audience does not have the insight of this what we have been paying. So if you see, we have four part in our workflow. So this will be implemented in the future. Couple of things are still work in place, and couple of things are already working. So on the top left side, you see incentive models. The CCIP is Creator Consumer Incentive Program. So the users and the creators are paid for the interaction over platform. So we have to start from somewhere. We have to incentivize users so that they start using the platform. We have a bigger audience in place, then brands will come in. So that's the workflow that will logical workflow that will fall in place. So on the left side, you have multiple incentive programs. For example, I talked about post to earn incentive program. We would be releasing probably in the month of December itself, refer to earn, wherein if you refer to someone and they join the platform, you'll start earning the credits. So that will open up the channel for a lot of users coming inside the application using it. We have already tested that the system is scalable and can have millions of users onboarded. That has already been established and tested. And then we have different monetization models, like we have ad revenues. We have something very good model that we would be implementing is decentralized advertisement, wherein we'll enable users, creators, and brands to boost anyone's post. So everyone would be
Oh,
open to boost anyone's post.
interesting.
Yeah, instead of you as a creator boosting your post, your users, the people who are following you, the brands who are following you, you yourself can boost your post. So that would be the kind of decentralization that will happen with the advertisement model. And then we also have because we are storing everything on chain, we create whatever content users create, whether it's an image, video, and audio. That's all becomes an NFT. So sooner or later we'll also have audio creators onboarded, because if you see most of these shorts or the reels are do have these musics background music in place. So we'll onboard the audio creators as well. Whenever someone uses their audio to add to their content, whatever revenue is generated on that post, some part of would be shared with audio creators. So there's a
This
lot
is
of
so
things that
important.
we want to do good.
I just want to give
Yeah,
a
please.
very specific example so everyone's like able to grasp how the audio creator royalty is so important. There was this TikTok trend. I don't know if you were in the if you saw this on your feed as well, but it was on mine. It was just every day I was exposed to it. It was just this audio of this girl or this person saying like very demure, very cutesy, something like that, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
since that creator wasn't able to copyright it, trademark it, or whatever, he got
yeah,
nothing out of it. Like all the brands, Web2, Web3, whatever, all the brands were
yeah,
just using this line, this audio, all creators. It was crazy. Like, it was
yeah,
wild. It was everywhere. But not a single cent was given to the creator of the audio. That's
yeah,
mind melting for me. That doesn't seem fair, right? It's just
yeah,
so
absolutely.
many
I mean,
people
there
got so much
yeah,
eyes and viral content from it, except for the actual person who created it. And
yeah,
I feel like in our space, I should be giving more value to people who create such impactful content. It's a silly content, like very cutesy. It's such a funny thing to say, but impactful nonetheless.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
I
people,
really like this
if
audio
the
creator
audience is,
royalty. Mm.
yeah, if audience is liking it, nothing is nothing is meme, nothing is stupid. So we are not to judge on any content. This is what I have
Exactly.
learned. Yeah. So I used to think about what kind of silly content is this, but then I see that this is getting viral. So then I
The
thought that
silly ones resonate with people. They're the best
yeah,
ones because they're so
yeah,
just honest and fun. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree. And
I
again,
mean
we should be in
that
a space
day,
where they're
yeah,
credited.
yeah. Yeah, so that day I realized um, we have certain mindset, we don't understand how things works. So we have to be open to understand things, how things are being perceived and how things are working in the real world. So yeah, I mean, I talked about the CCIP, and then I talked about the monetization, and then there is one more model that we have wherein creators can, as I said, that they can monetize their content in different ways. They can uh, think about this, right? See, I am starting my creator journey. I am no one right now.
Oh
I
wow!
Yeah. So
Is
let's
that an
say let's
example,
say
or are you really doing it?
no. I'm just giving you an example right now.
Oh, I thought
Probably
you
I
were
will.
like this.
No.
I thought this was the
Probably I will do it in the
announcement
future.
of
I don't know.
you. Yeah.
No.
I
No.
thought you were like,
Probably I will do it in the
I'm
future.
not just a founder. I am now a founder. I thought this was like your coming out video that, oh yeah, this is my rebranding. Sorry, you lost me
Not as
there.
of now. Not as of now. But who knows?
In
It's
the
it's
future, correct.
never say no. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good answer. Don't close the door on that. All right, sorry, I
Yeah.
cut you off. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No problem. So we plan, once we have enough audience in place, we also plan to create a system wherein these newcomers or the new content creators can launch their tokens, can ask community to invest into them, and once they become a really big content creator, start earning big amount of incentives. These incentives will be also distributed among the users who have invested into them. So that's again open up a system wherein you are not alone in your journey. You need finances to bring some instruments. Maybe if you're a travel vlogger, you have to travel as well. So you start getting those finances from the users. They're betting on you, and then you are also earning once you become big. And the people who have invested in you, they will also get a equal proportion out of it. So that makes a win-win situation for everyone. But again, this will happen only when we have ample amount of users in our ecosystem. At least I would say 10 million users would be the right time when we start doing this.
Makes sense. And then the last bit is Creator DAO. How does that work?
So I talked about the creator DAO right now. The only thing that is remaining is reputation algorithm. Uh,
Ah,
I mean,
okay,
this is
okay.
again,
Ah,
yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
no
Okay.
problem. So again, this is very interesting. This came from when we were interviewing these big creators, and as you rightly asked, why these big creators will come onto the platform. What is the incentives from them for them? So we realize that these big creators are important for the ecosystem as well, and these big creators need something from the day one, so that they don't start from scratch, right? They have a reputation outside, they have a reputation on web2 platforms, which should be imported inside the platform when they join it, because that's how they will start their journey from being
What
a
do you mean
creator who is.
by, what do you mean? How would you do
Yeah,
that? Like, how do
yeah,
you
yeah.
acknowledge your
So
reputation?
Yeah, so very basic algorithm I will talk about, Mulan. Uh, let's say you are a TikTok creator, you have X number of followers in your platform. Our algorithm will, so we'll have a system wherein this user will connect their TikTok account with their profile, will pull out some of the data. Let's say, for example, number of followers that you have on TikTok, and then we'll have an algorithm which will assign a reputation score out of it, and then this reputation score will feed into the system, so that they don't start from scratch or zero. They'll start
Got
with
it.
certain
Got it.
reputation into the system,
It's
and that's the
injected
biggest
into the
incentive.
algorithm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So that would be a
Another,
seed for them. Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on how that's such a smart way to incentivize them to, hey, we acknowledge all the hard work we've done in the other social media platforms. Now try our new platform, right? And
Yeah,
I think what people mistake when we talk about new social media accounts is, oh, there's already TikTok, there's already Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they say, why should I make content there? Why should I try this new platform? I think they fail to understand that we're not asking them to immediately give up whatever it is that they've built
yeah,
on the other platforms, right? Like you're just basically saying, hey, there is this new platform providing you better rewards. You're incentivized
yeah,
every step. And just so many other perks that you don't get with the current ones. While you're already making content, why not upload it in
absolutely.
this other?
Yeah,
It's an additional monetization path for you. And if you end up
absolutely.
liking it more or you grow better there, you just, you know, do what's best for you and your brand. So yeah,
Right,
I feel like
right.
some people they're like, pick one. And like, why choose? You can have all of them. Who's stopping
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I mean, this is again very interesting. You pointed out very well about this friction among influencers and creators. I have talked to approximately 500 600 creators here in India, and these guys are really smart. I mean, you'll not even believe, without even telling them whether what value this platform bring to them. They're already clear. uh, One of the creators said, told me that, why do you want to convince any of the creators to upload content on your platform? They are already creating the content. Most of the effort goes into creating the content, not uploading the content.
Exactly.
So that's open for
Mm-hmm.
everyone to do that. So he said that, don't worry about that, this will fall in place. So yeah, I mean,
I agree.
that's
Yeah,
these
yeah.
were the great
It's a
insights.
no-brainer.
Yeah,
Yes, and again, it's you're already making the content. You just have to upload it to another site. If it works out for
yeah,
you, amazing. If
yeah,
it doesn't, right? And
yeah,
yeah, I feel like again, there's just whenever you introduce something new, especially like for social media, people are like, why should I know? Why should I even try that? Why should I give it some mind space without acknowledging that hey, it's just another path for you to explore. And um, again, up to you, right? Um, Tushar, this has been sitting in my head for like the past 15 minutes. This was the second
okay,
part of my question from earlier, right?
okay,
So we've been emphasizing a lot about autonomy and decentralized interactions, which are fundamental to Web3, right? Decentralization is the secret sauce of Web3. However, I think complete autonomy um, could possibly create environments where harmful behaviors such as bullying, harassment, content that are racist, violent, and just all these
Yeah.
nasty things, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
we we don't want those kind of like hate speech or anything that will incite violence go unchecked. How do you
Hmm.
plan to strike a balance between empowering
Yeah.
users with autonomy, with
Yeah.
control, with ownership, and
Yeah.
implementing necessary moderation to protect individuals from community to that kind of harm?
Sure. Uh, that's again one of the critical aspect that we have been, thinking about, looking to solve this problem. Uh, so uh, there are two ways of handling such problem, because we are very sure that these content will be posted by users. You cannot control that. You can have a platform which can smartly understand what kind of content it is, and then also empower the community members or the users to flag these kind of contents. You must have a moderation model in place, wherein you can also empower your community to flag certain kind of content. Also, the system should be smart enough to automatically understand that this content is it's something which everyone will not like to see. Probably some people will like to see, but there should be
Not
a
good
choice
for
on
general humanity.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
see.
there
I
should be
see.
a there should be a choice for users to give their preferences, or teach the system their preferences to stream the relevant kind of content. So what we plan to do is, Milan, we will be implementing a community moderation in place, wherein people will have the ability to flag the content whenever they see it. This is not a good or a scalable model, but again, we want to empower the users. We don't want that everything should be decided by a machine. We want that real humans should identify what they want to see and what they don't want to see. Interestingly,
I
we when
agree.
we launched our yeah interesting when we launched our beta, we faced this issue. And being coming from a web 3 web 2 company, uh, being had that experience that this is something we're going to face. We have certain mechanism in place where we can, once the community reports us that certain user is not posting content that can be viewed by everyone, we used to flag, block that, or used to mark that down. But going forward, this power will be in the hands of users. Plus, we are also planning to build a decentralized AI services which will go through these content. There would be certain filters which will be applied on those contents. Whether for example, if someone is uploading a content which is not appropriate to see, by multiple people. Let's say if they are uploading a pornographic content, so the system will identify that this content might have such content, so it will put a flag onto that content that this content is not appropriate to be seen by everyone. And the users
Makes
who have done setting their preferences of what kind of content they want to see, or maybe the content they have been watching, the system would keep learning their likings and dislikings, and then their feed will be generated accordingly.
It'll
So
grow with
nobody,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so nobody will be stopped from uploading anything, but we'll have a system in place wherein users will have that power to feed into the system what they want to see and what they don't want to see.
Makes perfect sense. And I feel like that's a healthy way to go about it. Tushar, with 10 minutes left, we have still so many things to
Yeah.
cover, but our community has been so generous with their questions that it'll be a disservice for us not to answer some of the questions, right? So I want to transition into some
Definitely.
of our community questions. They're very interesting. Again, um,
Yeah.
I would, if you'd allow me, I would like to please the five
Absolutely.
questions. from our amazing community members. Yeah, so we'll just go through them very quickly.
Yeah,
Alex
please go
Moore
ahead.
asks, how does RuBaRu plan to onboard creators and audiences unfamiliar with blockchain technology?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So if you see our platform, if you see our vision, if you see our approach, we have always been advocating that we have an interface which is very similar to Web2 platform. You have a mobile application, it works just like Web2 platform. You don't even need to worry about whether the the platform is powered by blockchain, whether it has crypto inside the application. You just come on board, sign up easily with either II, or we'll be building multi-chain login as well, and even we'll be building Web2 kind of login, so that a normal social media or the conventional social media user can also onboard, and then we'll be
You're
generate
not
the internet
overwhelmed with the
identity in the background.
jargons. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the
Yeah.
idea is to
Honestly, they
have
don't need to know.
yeah. So the idea is to have them onboarded, use the application without even worrying about what is blockchain, what is crypto. And once they are onboarded, once they see see the incentives coming their way, they'll learn how to encash those incentives. That's the plan that we have in mind.
I agree. I think that's a great answer where, again, we don't need to know about it's blockchain, it's Web3,
Yeah,
whatever. It's just a regular
yeah,
social media platform, get another path for you to explore. And I feel like you are also a very value first or value giving company first with all the
yeah,
incentivizations in place. Next
yeah.
question is from Strange Man 213. For those who are looking to make this a sustainable income stream, how does your platform offer long-term earning potential and what kind of growth opportunities do users have? I think
See,
we extensively talked about it in the business model, but maybe give us a very quick summary of it.
yeah, absolutely. So one of the moving force that we have is to break that incentive models that these centralized social media platform has. So they keep the biggest chunk of incentives or the advertisement revenue that they earn from brands. We want to do this opposite. We want to transfer almost all the value that the platform would earn from the advertisement revenue or the other models to the users themselves, so that they earn what is fair for them. And then because this would be a DAO in coming future, the platform would only need funds to run itself, and just to support the team who's building the app. Otherwise, everything will be distributed among users.
Yeah. Okay. This next one is from Clark Butler. Security is always a top concern for online platforms. What steps have you taken to ensure users' data and earnings are fully protected from potential threats?
Perfect. So I mean,
Our,
uh, on that perspective, we are very lucky that we discovered ICP. ICP's keychain technology, storing everything on chain, solves that problem. So, whatever I have learned in my 18 years, whatever threats I can envision, are covered by the ICP technology. So that's the beauty of ICP, that you as a project builder does not need to worry about the nitty-gritties of this section. Probably in the future, if there are other threats that come in our notice, we'll work on that. Our team is fully capable of building security features and having the users data as well as content secure. So yeah, I mean, that's not a problem as of now.
great answer. It's just very short. Blockchain. ICP.
Yeah.
Correct. This next one is from Paul John 2288. What safeguards are in place to ensure the sustainability of reverse economics and avoid issues like total inflation or market manipulation?
Perfect. So, I mean, if you see, we have been building the product from last 1.5 years, almost 1.5 years. Uh, Usually, what people do in Web3 domain is they build a white paper. They have a very raw product in place, and they go and build a very raw tokenomics and go out for funding. We took a uh, we took a very absolute opposite approach. We understand that we can build a product, we can build a product which will solve the pain problems that we wanted to solve. But if we fail in building a robust tokenomics that will sustain the infrastructure with or without any external help. We have to be very careful. We have been researching about our tokenomics. We have been researching about the algorithms that will be in place for incentivization and monetization. uh, we have made a good progress, but we are still not there. We are still working on that, and before we are not very confident about it ourselves. Will not take an extra step to just to go to launch the tokenomics and seek for funding. So that's that's one of the key point we have been criticized about. We were very praised about the product that we have, but always criticize why we don't go for public sale, or we don't go for tokenomics. And so we have been very careful about that. We want to build a system which should live for next 15 years at least. So we have to have everything in place.
Perfect for the next question. Professor Kite asks, where do you see the platform in the next 5 years? We made updates for new features we're excited about rolling out in the near future too.
So yeah, I mean, very in a very near future, we want to implement these incentives and the monetization models, so that whoever join the platform start earning their incentives, and then they also see the value that this kind of platform bring into the sociofy ecosystem. uh, I envision that there are a couple of features that are very aggressively used by Web2 social media users. We want to build that. Uh, just one a pivot that we want to build everything on chain, so that the security and privacy issue does not arise. So we'll be building those features which are highly attractive, which keeps users engaged. And talking about next 5 years, I would like to see RuBaRu at least in the top 10 most used Sociify apps. That would be, I think, a good start. Would be a good start for us.
Amazing. Yeah, and I feel like with everything that you guys are laying out, you're building the proper steps for you to get at the top. Tushar, I am so grateful for your generous time. I feel like 1 hour is not enough. I still have so many questions. Like I told you at the beginning of this episode, this really
Yeah,
resonated with me. And yeah, I hope this is not the last that we have you here on our show. And initially when we were talking backstage, you said you had two offers, right? One short term and one
yeah,
long term. The short term being a giveaway very special for our AMA viewers, and then the second one, the long term, the airdrop. So
yeah,
this is your
yeah.
chance to share all of that with our community.
So for everyone who has been with us during this AMA, who have been listening to us, uh, we would be launching our refer to one platform very soon. You can join the platform, bring in your friends, bring more and more users. For every users that joins the platform through your referral link, you'll earn some credit points. Those credit points, whether earned through post to earn, whether earned through sign up activity, whether earned through referrals, would be converted to tokens when we do TGA drop. So there is only one catch uh, regarding the post to earn. We have a limit on post to earn right now. Being a user, you can post limited amount of content per day. So I would say don't waste a single day. Start earning your credits. These are going to be converted into tokens. I mean, Milan, you are on mute, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I got too excited. I was like, oh no, I was on mute. I was
yeah,
just saying how don't waste a single day. That's a perfect way to go about it. Again, Tushar, it has been such a joy to spend time with you. And hopefully, the next time you're back, we get
same here.
through. I'll ask a lot more questions. There's still so many things that we
Absolutely,
haven't gone through. And again, I would love to have you back. Maybe some of your other team members, so you can hear their perspective as well as to how you guys are building out. And I would love to hear what how they go about things specifically with their role in the company. But yeah, again, this has been so fun for me. Amazing project, and I hope what you want to see in the next 5 years, we see very much like earlier even. So Tushar, thank you. As you say in the Philippines, maraming salamat. And let's
Milan,
say thanks
only
to
one thing is remaining. One thing is remaining.
ah yes, yeah, yeah.
We also have a reward for our email joiners. So whoever is
Ah
here,
yeah.
uh, sign up on RuBaRu app. Take the screenshot of your profile, post it as in comment to ICP Hub Philippines tweet, and we'll pick 5 people and distribute one ICP each to five community members.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Tushar. Again, so generous of you. You really
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you on the next episode. Hopefully, after this, I will bug you for the part two. I have so many questions
absolutely,
still.
absolutely, absolutely. And
Perfect.
thank you everyone who has been here listening patiently. I'm sure I'm not a very good speaker, but thanks a
Oh,
lot.
you are. You're too humble. Thanks, Tushar.
Yeah,
I really
thank you,
enjoyed
Milan.
this episode and your stories.
Same
Thank
here,
you. Have a great
same
night.
here. Bye, bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Ayan guys, maraming salamat for joining us in this episode. Hopefully you found it as interesting as I did. Thank you for sending in your comments. Grabe, I feel like sa lahat ng episodes natin, ito yung pinakamaraming comments na natanggap natin so far. But yeah, I would just like to repeat yung mga napili po natin na questions para ma-receive din nyo yung ICT rewards niyo. So Alex, Shadman, Clark Butler, Paul John, Professor Kite, maraming salamat. And everyone who sent in their questions, we appreciate you and hopefully we get to incentivize you as well sa next episodes natin. Don't we always have one weekly po ito. So please join us again next week. And again, thank you so much for tuning in for IC Stories. If you want to participate, in the two things that Tushar shared. The very first one is punta po kayo sa official post ng ICT Philippines tapos mag-comment po kayo doon ng account ninyo of RuBaRu at magpipili po sila ng 5 to give 1 ICT each. And then, the second one is, so narinig din lahat ng mga ways or different ways to get points for RuBaRu. If you guys engage and get more points, that will all be equated to an airdrop. So very exciting stuff. And I meant it when I said now hopefully we get another episode with them because I just have so many questions and obviously you guys have as well. So yeah, we'll make that happen. Don't worry. Again, thank you so much for spending your Friday night with us. Maraming salamat po. See you on the next one. Bye.